Yo, what's up, guys? 65 Lokes here, back with another episode of Scale Riders Podcast number 237. Just heading out right now, out to my destination, and man, I hooked up the mic and I was like, yo, it's been a minute, I gotta do an episode. Think of it, some months back, I did record an episode. Something happened. I thought I lost the file, but I ended up finding it, and I haven't uploaded it, so it's probably not even relevant anymore, but I might still just throw it up. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know if you guys think I should upload that episode. It's like a lost episode. It was back in September when it was recorded. So been thinking about possibly putting that up, but not sure yet. I don't know. Can't even remember right now what I was talking about on there. So who knows? But yeah, so I'm heading out right now. Some things to talk about. Some things I want. It's been a minute. Just been busy with like everybody else. A lot of stuff has been happening. A lot of changes and so forth. But always trying to go on a positive note and just working forward to see what's the next thing that needs to be done. And as far as building, right now at the moment, I have not been building any of my scale currently unbuilt kits. There's a lot of kits in my closet that are, in the beginning stage, halfway stage, or even close to the finish line stage. There's different ones, and I've always battled between sticking to the regimen of just one kit, starting from the beginning, wrapping it up, and then moving on to the next. I know some guys are really good at that. They have, a discipline in that. And I don't know, when I see that, I get motivated. Like, oh man, I want to try that. I want to do that. And I try it out, but it's tough because then I end up getting stuck somewhere, or I'm just not feeling it, and I need something to get me over that hump. And when I, open up a new kit, it gets me excited. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's get things rolling. And then from there, that motivation rolls back onto that kit that I just left behind. I was like, all right, let's do it up. And sometimes, I end up putting 2-3 kits in the back burner. I ain't doing nothing. And then all of a sudden, I just get this spark, and I wrap them all up. And once I start posting, this one's done, it's almost like I'm kind of sending out the vibe, I did these all fast right away, back to back to back. But honestly, that wasn't the case. They might have taken a year, maybe 2 years, who knows. I remember when I used to meet builders, back then, or artists, I would be like, oh, that's dope, and I'd ask them questions about their build and everything, and they'd tell me oh yeah, I've been working on that one for 4 years. 5 years! I was like, dang, that's a long time. But I would imagine, I had this imagination of that they would every day be working on it for 5 years. I had this every day, they turn on the light, get on the bench, and get the tweezers, a little bit of glue, and just glue one part and be like, all right, that's it. I'm going to turn off the shop, and tomorrow's another day. That's what I was imagining. I was imagining something like that. It's pretty silly, and I was like, yeah, every little detail, it's every small little thing, I imagine it was one day 1, day 2, day 3, and so forth, and it wasn't even like that. It's just over time I kind of understood, anytime you're in the bench and you got that time, a lot of things could happen. But sometimes you do one thing and then you move on to the next and the next and the next, and you're like, man, I'm on a roll. And then you look at the clock and you're like, oh dang, 3-4 hours already went by. I need to chill. You know, it's already late. It's 3 in the morning. I gotta go to sleep. I gotta get up at 6 or something, you know? So sometimes you get those little spurts of like, you go all in. But then again, when you pre-plan what you're gonna do next, that's pretty dope too. Because a lot of the times with the pre-planning, it's like you kind of prep it for the next day or so forth, right? Where you left off. Like, you might be working on something and then you go, all right, I'm gonna like pre-prep this thing right here. I'm gonna leave all these things right here, these parts. For example, let's say you're gonna be working on glass, right? You're like at those last moments. So you start organizing all your glass, you start putting it all in a certain area. You start seeing like, oh, what else do I need for that? Oh yeah, I need my polishing pads. You know, maybe your Meguiar's Scratch X. You know, things like that. Your little rag or your Dremel. You know, all those little things you start setting them aside. So this way, the next day when you get on it, you already know what to attack. And then you can't forget the black marker too, or maybe even not a black marker. It's like a blue marker too. If you're gonna be you know, filling in like the edges of the glass, depending on the type of build you're doing. You know, things like that. So all those little things are good to consider. Or even like if you're gonna be doing your water slide decal session, you know, you got to get them tweezers out. You got to have out that small little tiny little bowl out there with the oh dang, I got stuck in the middle right now. You better scoot up, buddy. Oh no, we got a green light. So the little bowl, you got to have a little bit of water and so forth, like all those little things. Hey man, scoot up, buddy. Oh, you're gonna be a jerk. Oh, I see. Dang. There's hella traffic right now. It's crazy. Well, yeah, we scooting up. Let's see. Let me get over here. Woo. Gotta act fast. Sorry, my dudes, for that little distraction, but I had to react real quick, make some moves. I'm already in the pocket. So, water slide decals, you gotta got the, you know, your brush, the decal sheet, have it nice and protected away from the water. So this way you don't want any kind of moisture or water to land on it. And then so happens you wake up the next day or at night, you check out your session and you realize all the decals slid out and they're all stuck together. And you're like, wait, what happened? You know? So you got to be very careful about that. Have the water slide decal tweezers. Tamiya makes these really dope tweezers for that, you know? Some people might look at it as like, oh, they're tweezers. You know, I can use any type of tweezer. Or maybe, oh, they're too expensive. It's a waste of money. But it's like, if you want to do good work, you got to have the right stuff for every different task, you know? You can't just have one pair of tweezers and that's it. And be like, oh, yeah, like, you know, this is all I need. And then it's like, you know, the results, you're still like, man, I'm not getting the results that I want. Or whatever, you know. So having the different tweezers, look at them, you know, see how wide they are, how thin they are, the actions that they do. Even feel the tip of the tweezer, the grip. There's some that are smooth and flat, and then there's some tweezers that, you know, they have a little bit of grit in there, you know. And you also got to be careful because you also don't want to damage a part using some of those tweezers that have a little bit of grit. Or even if you're using those reversal tweezers, you know, those are good for holding parts and things when you're going to be painting, adding those small little details, and they act like an extra little hand, you know, for you. So this way you can maneuver and get in there. But a lot of the times with that too is like, you don't know how tight the tension is right there. You know, you could be using one of those reversal tweezers, and next thing you know, it's like when you take the part off, you notice it either damaged it, smashed it, or it like it scraped off some of that paint. You really don't know what's going on in there. So yeah, all those little things are important. They do come into play as you're putting your you know, build together. And that's kind of the thing, you know, going back to like setting things aside, because like if you're going to be doing that water slide decal session, you know, you got to have obviously the decal sheet. You got to have the model. already set aside, knowing like if there's a ton of waterside decals you got to add on there, what's going to be the approach? What comes first, what's second, and what's third? Because sometimes some decals even require layering. You might need to lay one down as like a base, and then the second one as a second layer. So you got to know what are going to be the steps of what comes first, second, third, and so forth. And then as far as the tools, there's also your hobby knife, and even with that, it's great to have many different knives, especially if there's one that you say, oh, this is my dedicated knife just for waterslide decals. You're always going to know that you're going to have like a nice sharp blade when you cut out the decal. You could even have a nice little ruler, like a clear ruler, so you can see through as you're cutting it out. Or you could even have your Tamiya decal scissors. Those things are nice and sharp, and they cut to the edge really great. All those little things, the tweezers, even a brush. You can have a designated little brush as well. So this way, instead of touching the waterslide decal with your hand or anything like that, with the tweezers, you're holding the bottom side of the paper. And then with this brush, you're starting to touch the waterslide and sliding it to the side. So this way, there's no oils or any kind of contact from your fingers touching the decal. And it's almost like you're more of a surgeon. You're over here like doing your thing. You got your glasses on or something. You got your nice light right there. And yeah, I mean, this is the fun part about it. You're all concentrated, you're all in, your eyes, your hand coordination, everything. You're putting your brain to work right there. Those brain muscles, you're getting it all working right there, because you're not on your phone. You're not like distracted by stuff. It's like late at night, you're in your zone doing your thing. And then after, the results speak for itself when you have your model out on display. You could tell with the caliber and like the type of work people put out with these builds. A lot of times on the tables, when you see them, you're like, man, look at all this work. It's mind-blowing. It's super mind-blowing. And that's the the inspiring thing and the fun thing about building is there's tons of levels to it. And you see some people that are just super advanced, and those are the goals, right? We want to reach those goals. And it's fine if we don't reach those right away, but that's part of the journey. It takes time to get there. It takes time. And that's the fun part, because I'll tell you this, if it was easy and we reached that journey quick and we were all on the same level, it would be boring. It'd be like whatever. Like, we do it, boom, conquered, all right, done. I don't want to do this no more. Let's get into like collecting ducks or something. I don't know. Like just something random, right? And nah, like this is something that you keep creating and you keep building on, and you keep getting better at it every time. You just keep putting in the work, and that's the cool and fun thing about it. It's back then when I had started the online store, the motto was like create your vision, right? And over time, even leading up to now, I kind of been like, it's been on my mind, like wanting to switch that up. I do like it, but I feel like now it's like I want to adopt and start saying more like build your legacy. That's what I want to say, because like everybody has their own style, everybody builds their own builds, but there are certain artists that we like a lot that we're like, man, I love your work, and you're freaking awesome, and I love your work. And over time, you get to see these cars in person or just photos of them from a table at a show, and it's very inspiring, where some of these cars become classics over the years. Maybe right now we don't see it like that because maybe these models have been out for the last 4 or 5 years. But let's say in 10 years, 15, 20 years, you know, you're gonna see a build, let's say from like Vision 124, like George. You're gonna be like, man, like this right here is like a classic right here, dude. Like this is a heavy hitter right here. Boom, you know, things like that you'll start to consider. And to me, it's almost like, let's say if there was a showcase and an artist got to showcase all his builds all in one, you would see right there the legacy, right? Starting from, maybe they have some builds when they started, leading up to now, the present day, and you go, man, look at that. Like that's the legacy right there, you know? This is the different things this modeler did to make some noise, to take their builds to the next level, their skills, and it's like, man, like this is like some inspiring stuff. And it's just one of those things, you know, at some point, I know every modeler out there that has all these builds, they realize, man, I have like 10, 20, 30 builds under my belt, and they're all right here. I don't got room for them. I already enjoyed them. These are dope. But I know that there's some other people that will enjoy them even more. And sometimes they want to pass on that artistry, you know? They might want to pass on some of that legacy to their loved ones, maybe a family member, a friend, you know, or maybe even trade with another artist. But right there is where you get a piece of the legacy of that artist, you know. Some of their artistic soul is captured into that build right there. Just like having that build, you know, with you, you'll realize, man, this artist spent hours and hours and hours working on this to get it done. And it won awards, it got recognized, it was featured in a magazine, and now it's right here. It's right in front of me, you know? And so, I don't know. Like, if that's something that's inspiring to you, you know, it's like we got to spread that word, you know? Build your legacy right there. Man, I just saw a car trying to like get crazy with like this big old semi truck. He ain't gonna do nothing. That dude's driving that big old thing. They'll run you off the road. Man, I gotta sip my coffee. It's starting to get cold. It's that instant coffee right here. But yeah, it's you know, all those things right there. When you got the time, you get to build. You know, going back to like, it took me 5 years to build this model. Hey, it's true. You know, I believe it. And I mean, there's some builds of mine, I haven't hit the 5-year mark, but I know there's some that it took me at least a year, 2 years, because in between the whole mix, there's also a lot of pauses. There's things that happen in everybody's life, right? You just get busy with family. You get busy with responsibilities. You know, maybe even for those where you get your hours change at work, you know? Your work, you might be going in the mornings, and then all of a sudden your work's like, yo, you got to start working at night. And you're like, dang, that's my build time. You know? Or, you know, it's a busy season. Different seasons, you know, throughout the year for different industries, it gets busy, and they need all hands on deck. You know, they need everybody holding down the fort. So little things like that, you know, it makes it hard to try to do. Or even like holidays pop up and, you know, you can't do nothing because you got to travel. Maybe you're going to a wedding. You know, it could be anything that you got to step out of your pad and go do something. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's all good. You know, it's part of life, because it's an opportunity for you to put those skills, that mindset to the test out in the, you know, in the real world or in the field, you know. There's always going to be different things, whether it's at work or even out and about when you're not working, where you're going to have to do some stuff, follow some steps, fix some things, and so forth. And you have that confidence that, you know, you could build it, take it apart, build it again, fix it, you know, all these things, because you're a model builder, you know, like you're capable of doing these things. And these are like some skills that you're learning, you're picking up at home as you're working on your bench and stuff. And it offers a lot, you know. You're not just building this kit like and that's it. No, there's a lot of things that are going on. And I don't know, I honestly believe that, like, if you keep building, you know, have like a nice balance between building and, you know, your life and everything else, just being responsible, you know, doing your job at work, being there for your family, and just trying to do the right thing, you know, making right decisions, and then, you know, going back to your builds. If you keep doing a lot of that stuff for a long time, I have a good feeling, you know, your motor skills are going to be there. You know, as we get older, you know, our mentality and stuff, it's going to help a lot with our minds too, you know, constantly thinking, constantly, like, you know, finding ways of like how to fix this, how to do that. And it's crazy because even with the mindset, you know, there's things that we don't know how they work, we don't understand them, but then we see a video or someone explains and it clicks. Like, you're like, oh yeah, okay, oh damn, interesting. You know, all these things come together, you know, and this is all the help from model building. It all comes from it, you know. It's a trip, but it's just what it is, you know. And because even aside from model building, there's like, you know, things I need to fix sometimes around the house, or even like things I need to do around my car, and it makes me think, oh, I don't got this tool, I gotta get it, because you never know, I might need it. Or, oh, I need this tool to fix this. And then you know, you start building up, gathering up your stuff, start setting it aside, start organizing it. The other day I pulled out this huge bag. It was like full of tools that I've had for like the last 4 years, and I always just put them in this bag, and I put it in a certain area just so I know, oh, it's here, I can get it. But I did notice, like, man, this thing's like heavy, and there's a bunch of stuff. Let me bust everything out and really see what I really need and what I don't need, you know. Let me consolidate this bag. And yeah, there was a ton of tools of just stuff that I just was like, wait, there's like doubles here, or I don't need this, I don't need that. So there was things I had to take out, organize it. All right, these are the ones I need for this. All these extras, you know, I could put some in the garage, I could put some in my car, you know. Like, I have like this little emergency bag in the car with like, you know, gloves, tools, some paracord, some tape, what else? Also some battery cables, things like that. So you know, I got a flashlight, and what else? Oh yeah, there's also a tourniquet in there. So there's all these little things, you know. I keep them in my trunk, small little bag. So, you know, oh yeah, Band-Aids too, and all that good stuff. Because you never know, you know, you want to have all your little things kind of set aside in different areas for whatever, you know. But a lot of that comes from the model building, you know, being organized, setting things aside, and this way you're not like, oh man. Because imagine right now, like, building, right? Let's say you bust out a model kit and you're gonna build it, and all you have is like a hobby knife and nippers, and that's it. And you're trying to build, and that's all you have. I mean, you're not gonna get far because you don't have the rest of the stuff that you need. You know, you're still gonna need some sanding pads, you're still gonna need primer, you know, you're still gonna need some glue, you're gonna need a lot of things, you know. And I know if you're a beginner, you will get it over time, but I would recommend to acquire all this stuff before you get started, because you don't want to get stopped, and then have to run to the store and get stuff, or order online and get stuff, and then come back, and then do it again. You're like, dang, and then you got to go back, and you keep doing that. You know, it's just gonna kind of set you back a little bit right there. You know, that's good. That's gonna be kind of tough. You know, but as long as you have all the right tools for the right stuff, you'll be able to build your legacy right there. And try to keep as many kits as you can that you build. You know, see the pattern, see the evolution from beginning to end to present. And you know, over time, if you're really like, ugh, I don't like this one, just put it away. Don't toss it. Just put it away, because then later you'll pull it out and you'll see it, and you never know. You might want to remix it or something. You know, you might want to come back, revisit it, and do something kind of cool to it. I still have some builds from back in the day that I did, and they're probably like 20-year-old builds, maybe more. They're probably even older than that, and it's like these builds are just chilling. Like, you know, I have them in a little box. I don't feel like tossing them or anything like that. You know, I have photographs of a couple other builds that I took when I was a kid, like in junior high, and I always try to think, what did I do to those kits? What happened to them? Because I built the cars, took photos of them. I just don't remember what I did to them. You know, I don't remember if I can't picture my memories. I can't picture myself just tossing it in the trash like that. Like just grabbing and tossing in the trash, like over time. Like, I'm moving on. I just can't. I'm thinking I either put them away in a box, and that box got lost, and I just never, you know, ever recovered them. That could be a scenario. Or they just got lost during moving or something, you know. I just don't know where they went. Or maybe I gave them to a friend. I don't know. Even that, I can't even imagine that. Like, at that time as a kid, it'd be like, here, friend, it's yours. Not in that voice, but you know what I mean. I just can't. I don't know. I feel like I would have kept all my kits, like all my builds right there, you know. But the ones that I did manage to save, I do have them still. Not a lot, but I still have those. And I feel like I need to kind of revisit one of them just to kind of make sure that the wheels aren't loose. And that way I could just make sure everything's like okay, and then just put it away, you know? Because I really don't want to be touching it, because that car I didn't primer it, I didn't clear it. It's just the rattle can paint that's on there, and the paint in certain areas it's starting to kind of fade out, where you could see between the panel lines, and like around the doors, you know, things like that. But that's all because, you know, I didn't sand the body. I didn't even wash it. I just straight up pulled it out of the box. You know, I just cut up. I might have took off the if there was any flash. It probably really wasn't a lot, but whatever was there, you know, I must have cleaned that off, and that was it. But I didn't never had like sanding paper. I didn't know anything about, I gotta scuff the body and primer it. You know, none of that. I just straight up got the rattle can, shook it, sprayed it, and once the car was dry, I just started assembling it, like the body. You know, that's kind of where I was at. So I kind of want to just make sure that one's cool, and then I just want to tuck it away. I mean, it is in a box, like a clear box, so there's no dust or anything getting in there. The model is protected, and I have it in a closet, so there's no sun or anything hitting it either. I just want to make sure that everything is good with that, you know, and go from there. The other one, it's it's kind of the same, but I'm not really too worried. That one I could touch it, handle it, because there's already a lot of parts that I kind of lost over time by accident, and if anything, if I needed to like refurbish that one, I would have to buy another kit and like basically, you know, jack some of those parts and add them onto this build, you know. But I don't have any plans of doing that. I'm just kind of leave it as is, like for what it is, just to kind of observe the model and just kind of just, you know, study it for what I did back then in that build. Not really just like cutting corners, just painting the overall top, never painting the interior in some areas, or because even when you flip it upside down, it's like, oh, you can see some parts that are not painted that you go, dang, should have been painted, but they weren't, you know. But that's just how it is. But I want to let you guys know, currently have a sale right now on all Mr. Model products. The 35% off. The code is Mr. Model. So just whatever parts you want from Mr. Model, add them to cart. Type in that code, Mr. Model, and you're going to get 35% off. You know, I'm just trying to clear out as much stock as I can before the year ends. There's going to be tons and tons of more stuff going on sale. And no, I'm not going out of business. It's nothing like that. It's just, you know, it's the time of year. You got to clear some stuff out, make room for the new stuff to come in. The same goes for the kits, Aoshima kits. I'm going to be doing more sales on that. Right now, currently, the kits are like 10% off. But if you type in Aoshima 20, you'll add another additional 20% off. So I'll bring it down to like at least 30% off, which is really good, because like you're getting, you know, you'll be getting the models for cheap, pretty much, and they're already here domestically, you know. So it's like you'll get them fast once I ship them out. So a lot of kits are going to be going on sale. Detail parts, you know, Black Friday's coming up too. That's going to be exciting. It's like what, like a week away or 2 weeks away. I mean, this year has gone by so fast. I was thinking about it. I was going, dang, I didn't even go anywhere this year. You know, last year around this time I was in Mexico visiting the city out there. That was a fun trip, and I'm like, man, I should have gone back, but I didn't go anywhere. I just kind of hung out, chilled, you know. And but next year, definitely gonna plan some traveling right there, some vacation stuff with the fam, and that's some good coffee. So the sales are gonna be popping up from time to time. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the email. Go to the website, type in your email on the box, and get in there, because there are going to be more and more sales creeping in, popping up with stuff. And the thing is, it's like, if there's stuff you see that you want, snag it now, because I'm either not going to restock it, or it's going to be a restock until January, because I have no plans on restocking anything for the remainder of this month, of November, or even in December. You know, there might be a few things that might come in, but those are like stuff I already had on pre-order from a while back. But other than that, anything new, I'm not gonna be getting that until like January. That's when I'm gonna be doing my purchasing till then, on anything new that I want to bring in. But whatever you see, try to snag it. I do have plans to shorten up and like minimize the menu in the store. You know, I've been making a lot of decisions this year as to like what to carry, what not to carry, and so forth. And yeah, there's gonna be the menu is gonna be smaller. You know, it's not gonna be like trying to carry every little thing, you know, not like that, you know. Because a lot of the times you have this like fully stocked every brand, everything, and it just becomes more confusing to the customers. And I don't want to be doing that. I just want to get it down to like, this is what I highly recommend. 65 Lokes approved, Armando Flores approved, Vision 124 approved, stuff like that. So keep you guys posted, but make sure you check us out, scaleriders.com, and just be on the lookout, because there is going to be a lot of stuff going on sale. Normally the people that get the notifications first are the ones that are on the email list. Those are the ones that jump on the deals first. A lot of the times, that's like the perks of being on an email list, is that you're gonna get to know first of what's happening, what's going on, before I pull it out and post it on social media. Because a lot of the times people they see it and then they're hitting me up like, oh man, I really wanted this, like, how can I find out? Dude, you gotta get on the email list, bro. Like, once you get on there, you'll be the first to know of what's going on, what's on sale, because you wanna snag that before it's gone. Like a lot of the Aoshima kits, to me, that's all like dead stock stuff. Like, amazing kits, don't get me wrong, amazing kits, I love building them. But when I say dead stock, that means that the chances of me restocking those are very, very slim. It's not going to happen. A lot of that stuff is going to be gone, and I really don't have plans of restocking it. There might, if someone's like, oh, I really want a Celsior, I really want a Liberty Walk, stuff like that, I might consider, special ordering you one for sure. But to be like the days of like, oh, I ordered 10 of them, I ordered 12 of them, and boom, we got 20 on deck, nah, that's not gonna happen no more, man. Things have changed, the industry has changed. The market's very saturated, and on top of that, you got Aoshima also selling direct to consumer. So I got to look out for the right of the company, and for myself, and go from there. But right now, I'm hooking you guys up, and that right there, you guys are gonna get some stuff pretty cheap. And man, this is the time to stock up on some stuff, because like, if you're gonna be searching like, oh, I want the best deal, I want the best this, I want the best that, that's cool. But just so you know, if you want to get it at a low price and get free shipping, spend over $100, free shipping right there. The shipping's on me right there. Bam. And you're getting a discount. It's almost like at the end, it's like you got a free kit pretty much right there. So just a heads up. It's just a heads up. But more and more stuff's going to be going on sale. So I'll keep you guys posted. I hope you guys are good. I'm going to head out. All right, guys. Peace out. 65 Lokes. Later.